Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. South Florida's ultimate resource for everything local fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to cover your future marine forecast, tide phase, moon phase, and tide charts. Everything you need to know to help keep you in the bite. Before we get into this, though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, or just see some great, exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button and joining the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, let's get into this. We had a surprisingly good week of fishing, even though not the most favorable of conditions. But hey, what can we do? Let's get right into this. Before we start, yes. The talk of the rest of this week is going to be Tropical Storm Melissa. We will get into that. We're going to look and see if we can figure anything out about that. But right now, let's talk fishing. We're going to start out with Mr. Pedro, the master of many different trades. Here we go. He's got a nice permit. Went out with his buddy also this morning at the bottom of the ninth inning. Said he wanted to get on the leaderboard and have something to show off, so he got a couple of nice permit. Shore fishing, said he could not reach the bluefish from shore. They were too far out past the breakers, but hey, he ended up with this. So I mean, when you're talking about inshore fishing, right, folks, that adds to what we've got going on, and there he is. Yes, good news is what you saw for the ocean today, looking like a lake, beautiful, maybe some small swells, should hold till tomorrow. But we'll go over that. The storm isn't gonna, I don't want to be a spoiler. Anyway, yes, Pedro, you should be all right. Yes, so inshore, right, we got bluefish, we got Spanish mackerels, and obviously in there with the mix of all these goodies, chasing around the mullets, Mr. Pedro found the permit. So I mean, hey, great. That's a nice a nice pancake too. Look at that. Congratulations on that, Pedro. And yes, you should be fine for tomorrow. Let's continue on. See what we got on inshore. Oh, here we go. Ryan Reynolds went down to the Keys. Went and did a tarpon charter and definitely got on him a couple nice silver kings. I saw a video that he had posted last week sometime. Fish right at the boat doing backflips. Nothing greater than that. You've got it's always exciting to get the tarpon and hook them, and not only hook them, but get them and complete the catch too. It's a great experience. If you haven't done it and you ever get the chance to do it, I recommend it. If that is your cup of tea. Anyway, Ryan Reynolds slowly becoming a master of the saltwater fishing game. By the time this young man is in his 20s, if he keeps up this game, he's going to be the guy that everybody in South Florida is looking at and going, hey, give me some advice. All right, perfect, man. Good job, young man. And then we go, Marlo Kenny-Leva, the shallow water queen. And I made a comment, snatching mangroves out of mangroves. And she goes out on her paddleboard with her husband and shows him how it's done on a weekly basis. Hey, can't ask for much more than that, man. Going home with some dinner, definitely, having some good times, on a paddleboard. You can get in and out of these little creeks in the mangroves and stuff where, people on a boat just can't, or land-based guys can't. So, a little bit of adventure, a little bit of fishing. Hey, great. The mangroves are obviously in the mangroves. Having fun. All right. Thanks, Marlo, for your submissions as always. What else do we got? Here we go. I like this one. We'll start out with the picture. Sherry. My husband has been detailing the boat, and every time, the fish start blowing up, he's got a rod rigged up, and I actually can see it. My favorite lure. He's got on the white bucktail jig. Pitched it out, got him this nice, Jack Crevalle. Awesome catch. I told him I used to do that when I was little. I'd hear the fish blowing up on the water. I'd run out the backyard through the sliding glass door. I always had a little tiny rod with light line and ready to go. My parents would think I'm crazy, but yeah, it was always fun getting those guys at the time of year when they would come by. Anyway, so Sherry, great bite, awesome, smart thing to do if you're looking for a little fun up and down the canals as you are there. And here's the fish dancing around, dances better than me, definitely. Anyway, all right, let's continue on. Up some inshore stuff. Here we go. Al Green says there's still plenty out there. We got the lobster, and it is stone crab season, folks. Yes. Hey, there's Sean. How you doing, Sean? Sean, are you out on the water right now? If you are, you're a beast. By the way, congrats on getting that HMS permit too, even though it's, you know, something that we all should have. Anyway, here we go. Al Green, lobster, nice jumbo size. Oh my God. You're an animal. I love you. Out on the water, and you're doing it. Hey, just be safe. It's you know, we got a couple hours till dark. I hope you're slaying them. I hope you've got some good bites, and you obviously found a way to take care of today's. Oh my God! I think I limited out on mahi. I have under 10. Wow, man, you've had a stellar day. Oh my Lord. Whew. Man, I'm jealous. Hey, you got to get out there and you're getting it done. Definitely. Sean is, you know, the resident wave runner, jet ski guy who goes out there and gets it done. And, you know, whoa, and he's getting them. The smallest dolphin was 25. He's out there literally right now on fishing, writing notes. I love this, man. You can't get any better than that. Sean, thanks a million for, you know, taking 5 seconds out of fishing and saying what's up. I really appreciate it. Lost a 20 pound. Hey, it happens to the best of us. Take the little guys. They taste better anyway. Make some tacos. Be safe going home. Don't wait till it starts getting dark. All righty. Yes, lobster. Stone crab season, them jumbo keys. That looks like it could be down in the Florida Keys. I believe it is. You know, the stone crab claws up north a little bit. They don't really get so big like that. It's a rarity. Anyway, Al, congratulations on the catch. You got a lot of dinner there, my friend. Get out the butter. All right, what else do we got? Inshore. We're talking inshore. Wahoo troll before I hit. There you go. Hey. Do it. Now, as a matter of fact, while you're here, we're just going to so Sean, you heard me say congrats on his HMS species, on his HMS permit. So the other day, speaking of Sean, he caught this skipjack tuna, and he did the right thing, and he pitched it back because he did not have an HMS permit. And, you know, but more likely than not, FWC will ask you if you have it, if they pull you over. If you don't have it, they will report you to the feds, and the feds are big violations. You don't want to do it. So he did the right thing, and then he went home and he got it. So now he's good to go. And HMS permits, remember, folks, they don't cover just skipjack tuna. They cover many migratory tunas that are off our coast. Yellowfin, albacore, the skipjacks here. It also covers billfish like sailfish, swordfish. You need one to do it, and several species of sharks. Won't get into that. We're going to, like I said last week, we're going to do an episode that goes over all of this, and it shows you literally how to go online and exactly the steps you need to do to buy an HMS permit. Anyway, Sean, hope you saw this, buddy, and good luck on that Wahoo troll on the way, and hope you get another one. You'll have so much fish to clean. You're going to, yes. Good luck, man. All right. And then a little bit more inshore. I'll switch from that. Somebody made a post. This is James Montgomery. Oh boy, hold on. I got to read about this first. All right. He said he went to the Gulf of America. Said he thought the seas would be calmer, but they were not. So they went out of Boynton, and this is what they got. I'm a little confused, but I'm just going to go with it. There's some fishing out of Boca Grande up north on the west coast, and out of Boynton. We're going to go with it, and we're going to look at these pictures and see what we can make out of it. This is definitely a cooler full of fish. We got some grouper, some snapper. Take a little better look. There we go. That's what we got. Big old red. Yeah, bunch of reds, bunch of lane snappers. Some yellowtail in there. Those are some. I mean, look at this. Look at this lane snapper. That's like 15, 18-inch lane snapper. Look at these. Bigger than the yellow. When your lane snapper is bigger than the yellowtail and your porgy, hey, you know, We got a couple blue runners and an Almaco jack and a couple of other, the usual suspects up here. Man, a plethora of reef fishing. He got out and got it done. James, thanks a million for the submission. And, you know, this is, you know, when you make these trips and you come home successful like this, that's what it's all about. And I'm not sure what that picture's from, but it looks Boynton Beach-ish. I'm not sure. Run out, then make my way back. Only okay. Hey, you should be good. 4 hours is more than enough. Go for dolphin. They're in between like 1 and 300 feet. I wouldn't try to do what James did here. Hey, there we go. All right, so now back to our feed, and we're going to talk a little bit of pelagics because Dangerous says he's going out tomorrow, which is good. Let's start with Jason. Jason Reese, you know, Guggen Pro offshore angler. A stud in the fishing world, has you know come on. He's got a huge channel with you know well over 100,000 subscribers. Family man, and to boot, you know, a great angler. And he's looking to sell his boat. If anyone's looking for it, contact him. He's got a Boston Whaler, 32 foot, not sure, and looking to get rid of it. Looking for a new boat. So if anyone's looking for a boat. I offered to trade my 17-foot Key West, and he wasn't going for it. Anyway, all right, he took his sister out. A couple of great days. I guess they rowed a boat down to Key Largo, trolling back and forth, and caught 5 species for what he is calling the Super Slam. And I agree with him. Blackfin, tuna, wahoo, skippies, kings, and mahi. I mean, when you get pretty much every pelagic fish that we've got swimming around out here on the boat in one trip, that is a trip and a half. All right, so let's see. He says he got the mahi and the kings in the nasty green water, which I've heard the green water is out to 600 feet. So just consider that. Nucking Foots is in the house, folks. And let's see what else we got. 90 feet. Caught his kings and mahi, 90 feet. Wahoo and the tuna were in $1.80. So everything's not very far out, right? Everything is close in, avoiding the current of the stream. That's where we're at with this stuff. Sporting conditions, you know, what he says here is true. Sporting conditions usually provide a hotter bite. Yes, and that is true. When you've got no wind and a super calm day and the ocean is like a lake, and those aren't exactly favorable conditions either. You got to have a little bump to, you know, get the fish, you know, excited and feeding. And it's the uneasiness of the ocean always creates a little bit of stirring up action in the sediment. It shifts around the chlorophyll, and it makes it so that the bigger fish can come in and feed more easily. That's kind of the magic, which it takes a little bit more explaining than that. But in a nutshell, that is what happens. Jason, congratulations as always. You're the man. And you know, solid fish, and he's still reaching out. You know. I love it. Alrighty, thanks, Jason. And let's see what else we got. We got some more pelagics. Here we go. Said Reed, Boynton Inlet, Saturday morning trolling 4 mahi, 4 to 500. Like I said, the green water's all the way out. Jason is awesome. You know, it's you know. Living his best life and sharing it with everyone at the same time. You can't ask for more. Boynton Inlet, trolling, 4 mahi, 400 to 500. All right, so there's your depths. You know, like I said, I've seen them in real shallow. Jason said he caught them 90 feet. They're out there. You just got to go, and I would say, you know, look for your signs of life. Look for your floating stuff, seaweed, whatever. Don't necessarily. This time of year, you can almost blind troll in shallow for them if you're hitting up the reef, going in and out between 100 and 300 are second and third reefs. Other than that, you know, and then they said they headed out and got 2 more at 850. A little far out, but hey, they found them. 4 barracuda, which they threw back, and a skipjack. So the skipjack tuna are swimming around there. You know, they're going to start becoming more abundant than the blackfin. Blackfin are going to start disappearing. They're going to start getting about that big and be more bait size than they are food size. Alrighty, that was said. Thanks a million for always contributing. Here we go. The man, the myth, the legend out of Boynton Beach, Captain Jim on 4J's charters. You know, took out some young men, giant barracuda, nice kingfish for some food, and, nothing but smiles and workouts for these young men. If you're looking for a charter captain out of Boynton Beach, hit up Captain Jim. He's on 4J's Charters. Great captain, and the proof is in the pudding. He will put you on fish, and you will have a great trip and definitely make some lifetime memories. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. If you can't get in touch with him, of course, you can always contact me, and I can hit him up for you. All right, Michael, nice wahoo. Out on Sunday. Again, sporty conditions out there, but people are getting out there making it. There's a swell. There was a swell happening this past week. So people were able to make the best of it. And I'm really happy that folks got out, and definitely the fish were biting to make it even better. All right, 2 mahi, 1 wahoo. Picked up a blackfin also. Hit the trifecta. Yes, definitely got himself a saltwater slam going on. And he said he did not see another boat all morning. Hey, those are my favorite ones, when you feel like you got the ocean all to yourself. Thanks a million, Jim. Here is the Captain Jim, the one and only Captain Jim from 4J's Charters, making an appearance. Thanks a million, Jim, for always sharing. And by the way, he has his own line of slow pitch jigs. So, we're definitely going to be doing an episode on that and getting them torn up. And, anything we can do to help out our charter captains, we do. All right. Perfect. Wahoo, right? Definitely. So there we are. Everything's swimming out. Here we go. Woody, JJ Baker, Woody Baker. They went out. They did a little deep dropping. They hit up the reef. Somehow we got us a nice dolphin. We got a bunch of vermilion snappers. We got a porgy. We got a lesser amberjack and a blue runner. And a corona. Definitely can't forget the corona. So this is definitely a great, buffet of fish. I'm glad they landed on the vermilions, and they were able to keep picking them off. Looks like they got a 10 right here. Yes, I can still count. And hey, that dolphin swam around. No information, but you can kind of tell what might have happened. Might have been out there drifting around for the vermilion, which the dolphin are swimming around in that depth, and he just swam up to the boat and they picked him off. Or trolling, you never know. But hey, whatever it is, they had a great day and they got a ton of food right there. Good deal. And we saw Sean with his skipjack. Hopefully he's out there and he's going to nail himself a wahoo. That'd be great, man. We'd be able to, put that up on the brag board too. So that's what's up with our fishing, folks, right? So our snapper fishing is happening still. And let's kill that right there. All right, so our snapper fishing is happening, right? Yellowtails and mangrove bite is wishy-washy. The mutton bite is there, definitely. Mangrove bite is there. I'm sorry. Mutton bite is starting to turn on and definitely make an appearance. Trolling our kingfish. It's kingfish time of the year, folks. Don't knock them. If you hate them, hey, more power to you. Go for the dolphin or swimming around in kingfish territory too. My suggestion is, if you're not a fan of kingfish, don't troll a planer in between 100 and 200. Stay up on top, see if you can pick something else off. If you don't mind kingfish and you like them like I do, I love them, hey, get them planers in the water and then head out deeper. That 300 area, go for the wahoo, and of course the mahi are swimming around. They're mixed in there. It's a great time of year. This is one of the best time of year right now for not having to go halfway to the Bahamas to find quality fish. All right, folks. That about does it for our fish. Let's talk weather, right? So let's go right here. We're going to go to NOAA's website, and we're going to take a look at Tropical Storm Melissa and see what they have. Here's what they're saying. Okay, so this formed out of the blue, out of nowhere, caught everyone off surprise. It's very hard right now for them to say what's going on with the cone of uncertainty. All they know is everything that I've seen so far, it looks like it's going to come here and then swoop back out. We're going to have a very close call with this hurricane. But right now, as you can see, this thing is moving very slow. It's stalled. And what's happening is up above Florida, up in the northern part, there's steering currents that are happening, which is keeping it almost in the same place. So, we got, DR, Haiti, southern Cuba, they're all good. They're going to take some rain over the next couple of days, some serious rain. They're looking at flooding conditions and everything, because this storm is going to turn into a hurricane. So, what the severity of it will be, not sure, but it's going to be something that everyone's going to have to keep on their radars. And, come the weekend, our wind and stuff is forecasted to pick up. Let's see what happens. I don't see this going away in anytime soon. I see our weather beginning to pick up, and what you're witnessing right now on our coast offshore is the calm before the storm. Today, it was like a lake out there. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. After that, as we head towards the weekend, you'll see our winds are going to start picking up. This thing's going to push water towards us from the south. And that's just the way it's going to be. Hopefully it dissipates. Cuba is a very mountainous island, and it destroys hurricanes very easily. So, that we have that in our favor in the southern area of the peninsula, being Florida. But we are going to feel some effects come probably sometime the weekend, if not into early mid next week. We'll see what these steering currents do, if they let it move north or if they just push it way back out east. And we really don't get the hit that they are predicting. All right, let's take a look at windy, right? Let's go on ahead and we'll get into our forecast and take a look at it. Blast this out real quick and send everyone on their way. All right, so right now, folks, we got, this is windy. If this is your first time joining the channel, yeah, I got mine too. I haven't fired it up since Hurricane Irma. Don't tell me why. But I know people that can get it started for me, because I won't be able to. Anyway, yeah, I don't know yet. I wouldn't break out the shutters and the generators just yet. Okay. Windy. This is windy, right? It's a mobile app, and it's on your PC. If you're on your PC, you can click and point, and it'll tell you wind speed, wave heights, rain accumulation, whatever you may want. If this is your first time in joining us, the link to the websites are in the description of the video. Feel free to just copy and use them. These are great forecasting tools. They are not set in stone. Do not take it for more than what it's worth, folks. The forecast can change during the course of the week. Come the weekend, I could be entirely wrong, and you say, hey, what's wrong with this guy? He gets it wrong every time. Well, right now, as we go over this, again, it's just forecasts, and local meteorologists get it. They're wishy-washy so far. Everyone's got a different story going on. So if I listen to one, who do I listen to? This guy, that girl? I'm not sure. So I just go on ahead and I'm making a guess myself. Anyway, moving on. How to use windy, click and point. It'll tell you what your wind speed is, what direction it is, or like I said, wave directions, periods between them. Also down here, there's a color-coded chart. So if you look here and you're kind of in the aqua, you can go, we're between 5 and 10 knots. And you can also see which direction the wind is coming from. It depends upon, how comfortable you are with using the map and interpreting what is happening with your weather. The more that you do it, the more comfortable you become, and the more you start to understand what goes through the mind of a meteorologist as they make weather forecasts. Okay, so this is today. Let's look at tomorrow. Like I said, today, even though we've got this wind going on, we had nice conditions out there. Tomorrow morning, not much is changing. Down in the Keys, we look like we're a little bit elevated. That's tomorrow morning. Our West Coast is, they're going to feel some wind, but they're very shallow. And it looks like our wind is actually spinning around in some sort of circulation and heads over the land and then starts heading west. So they'll get some nice warm wind and catch some nice kingfish that are coming in shallow up there on the Skyway Ridge. For us down here, it looks like it might lay down a little bit in the morning. And then in the afternoon, let's see what happens tomorrow. It starts picking up again. Down in the Keys, the same thing. As you can see from this green shade, we're looking at 13 knots on the northeast, so they're going to have some gnarly seas. If we look up here, Vero, St. Lucie, it's 6-7 knots. So tomorrow is going to be, you know, not completely undoable, but hey, just be cautious. Check out your live feeds before you make that decision to head out. If you're heading out in the darkness, of course, it's going to be, you know, a crapshoot whether or not it picks up overnight. Thursday, we're staying steady. So again, tomorrow through the night and into Thursday, it starts really picking up. Stays the same in the afternoon. As you can see, we're starting to get here. So, and we're going to have, this is our tropical storm. So they're still saying, you know, come Thursday, it hasn't really even moved much. And that's 2 days from now that they're predicting that Melissa is not even moving. And again, like I said, so you can't really see it here, but if you can kind of see how the wind is swooping down, that's what I was talking about, the steering current. If you look more at a like a local meteorologist on the news, they might talk about the steering current, because that's what's going to drive where this tropical development goes. Quite literally, whether it comes straight up, whether it hangs out in the ocean. But as you can see, Thursday afternoon, our winds are starting to pick up. We are in mid to high double digits. All the way up the coast, all the way down the coast, and I'm sure it'll be getting, you know, the further south you go and you get into the Florida Straits. You hear me talk about the Florida Straits. The Florida Straits is this body of water in between Cuba and the Keys. All the Florida Straits. Very narrow channel if we're speaking globally for a flow of water. All right. And that is Thursday. Let's check out Friday and see what happens. Friday going into the morning, it's getting even more gnarly. So tomorrow, Pedro, we're looking at doable conditions, not horrible. So, you know, get out there and get on them fish while you can. It might be a little bumpy, but I don't think you will have too much trouble. And especially if you're doing a quick morning trip or something, you'll be fine. Friday afternoon. So come Friday, right? Thursday into Friday is these days where our winds are going to start really ramping up. As you can see, if we look at the color coded chart here, we're between 20 and 30. We're going to have gusts, and we're going to have, you know, some tropical, real tropical weather going on here. You know, hey, I don't know, clean the boat, wax the boat, stay out of the rain, fix the car, do a barbecue, something. It's not really going to be favorable out there this weekend. I know we're going to have a bunch of captains, you know, canceling trips, and it only gets worse as we head into the weekend, folks. So if we zoom out, let's see if they're predicting. They're saying come Saturday that this hurricane is still stalled. So like I said, we're going to have a real flood event between Jamaica, Haiti, DR, and, you know, the southern area, because this is the wet side of your hurricanes. This is the windy side. So as you can see, they're just going to have all this rain pounding and going at them. You know, we'll look more at that when we go to rain here in a minute. Anyway, so our weather conditions are looking spectacular if you like the wind, and crappy conditions out on a boat. Version generator for sure. Yeah, no. Keep it running. And if you want to get mine running, that'll be good too. All right, that's what charcoal's for. I got stories about hurricanes. I've lived here my whole life. Hurricanes don't bother me. I'm that guy that everybody makes fun of and goes, Florida people when a hurricane comes. Yeah, it's a party time for me. All right, Sunday afternoon, right? So Saturday into Sunday afternoon, it looks like it's starting to let up. If we look at where our hurricane is, it looks like they're saying it's going to move due west slowly but surely. So we shall see. Like I said, it's very unpredictable right now. They don't have that. They don't even have like the European models that they show. If you find the little spaghetti models, they're literally there's no making any sense of it right now. They don't know what this hurricane's doing. It could literally end up on our front door come early next week. Monday, winds letting up. Why did my screen go gray? Oh, because I don't pay for windy. Darn it. Okay. So, yes, we're looking at, not not much difference. Monday, it looks like it's starting to let up, right? It starts out at 12 knots in the morning. In the afternoon, it looks like it's letting up to about 7 knots. The Keys are going to be about the same. Let's see what happens Tuesday if we're getting a break. Tuesday, looks like we got a wind shift. So it'll be coming from the northwest at 11 knots. So we'll have to see what in the world's going to happen there. And it picks up even more. And they are saying that, you see here. So we had Sunday, we had our hurricane here. Now it looks like, remember, I told you that it might do a very sharp turn back. So poor this area, man, they are going to get blasted by this thing. Even if it's just a tropical storm, it's going to be a very long week in the Caribbean. All right, folks, let's head back to tomorrow morning. Let's look at our waves. Okay, again, windy, right? Same thing, color-coded chart, click point. So they're saying we got 3 foot swell at 8 seconds, right? So anything 8 seconds and above is pretty swelly, not very much chop going on. And that's our, around in the Tri-County area up north. It's the same. Down in the Keys, it might be, it's a little calmer, but that's, not too bad. We're all looking about the same stuff. Our West Coast guys are, they're looking pretty. Everglades National Park, 10,000 Islands, Chuckaluski, all that goodness. You're good for tomorrow. After that, the wind's going to pick up. I wouldn't, I don't even know if you're stuck out there what you do, because it'll be very hard to find you. All righty, let's continue. That's tomorrow afternoon. Same thing. 2 foot, 3 foot. So Pedro, you're looking good. You're going to have some swell coming in, be careful, heading out the inlet, and I hope you catch them up. And Thursday, we start picking up. As you can see, we got down in the Straits of Florida, we got our 4 foot at 4 seconds. So our period has gone away down in the Keys. In the Straits of Florida, we're looking at some big seas, 4 foot at 4 seconds. Even further, the further out to sea you go, I'm sure we're going to be looking at, 6 plus. Okay. And if we head back up to the Tri-County area and we look at Thursday afternoon, we're starting to see our water push come in, right? Remember, we're going to have a lot of water being pushed from this storm. It's got a tricky way to go because it's not a direct water push because we've got all the islands in the way. Yet water will find a way. It always does. So we are looking at 3 foot at 6 seconds Thursday afternoon. Friday morning, here comes. So now you can see where our water is getting pushed up from the south and around, which is, it's really crazy to watch this phenomena happen. Typically, when you got a hurricane from here or over in the Gulf, you can see the water coming. Here, it's amazing to really watch where the water is being pushed. It's got to go all the way around, all the way around Dominican Republic, in between Puerto Rico, if not all the way around. And then it comes around the western tip of Cuba and pushes. It's really got nowhere to go in this little area, which is insane. And that's why these hurricanes are the unpredictable ones. There's massive flooding in the Caribbean, and hopefully the Keys don't take a huge brunt of it. We got a lot of concern coming on, and hopefully it dissipates before it gets worse. 6 foot Friday afternoon, we're looking at. So it's starting to pick up as we go Friday afternoon. And like I said, you can see the push of the water. This is a massive amount of water being pushed. If we go down here in the Keys, they're looking at 7 foot. So like I said, and the further out to sea you get, it's not going to get any prettier. So, Captain Mercurio on the Yankee captains, he's going to have to sit this one out. No long range trips to Poley Ridge. Yes, the price we paid. Hey, listen, I'll take living in Florida all day. We are protected. If you think about how many bad hurricanes we get per hurricanes that form, we get a bad one like one every 12 to 15 years. So I'll take it, man. We're sitting pretty. Anyway, back to it. Saturday morning, there comes our water. Let's see what they're telling us. 8 foot seas at 6 second period. Sean, Pedro, Sean, you might not want to go out on your jet ski. Pedro, yes, tomorrow is your day. All right, folks. So yeah, it's looking fairly crazy come Saturday. So like I said, after tomorrow, the wind's going to start picking up. Our seas are going to amp up, and then they will slowly start to dissipate as we head into Sunday. We still got 8-foot seas because it ain't going away anytime soon. Heading into Monday, they're not giving me any data. 5 foot. So our seas are going to start calming down come Monday afternoon. 5 foot 7 seconds. Maybe we'll start to see a swell after the storm, but the storm, remember, the black and white screen's killing me. The storm is right around here. So the hope is that it will come all the way this way on a sharp turn. That's the only thing that I've seen, but right now it's really unreliable. Come Tuesday, we're back down to 3 foot at 7-second period, which means, hey, we're looking at a swell come Tuesday. Not too bad. And if what happens Wednesday? Wednesday we're looking at some more impact from the push of water from the storm. So I wouldn't even bother. Maybe Tuesday, if you're really itching to get out there, go on ahead and do it. Other than that, we're gonna have to watch what this storm does. Everything could entirely change. Ooh, I agree with you. Brisket sounds good. Especially if you get that Wagyu one. Yeah. Oh, did I just say that out loud? My bad. I love talking food. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at. Let's head back to tomorrow for a rain accumulation and see if there is what are we doing? Rain and thunder. There we go. All right. So right now, tomorrow morning, we're sitting pretty dry. If you look down here, that's where our tropical storm is, and it's creating a real mess down there. But let's talk Florida, since this is South Florida saltwater fishing. Tomorrow afternoon, dry. Thursday, a little moisture in the sky, not much. So what's happening, obviously, is the storm is sucking all the moisture towards it, acting like a tractor beam straight out of Star Wars. But it moves with it. So we will, we're going to see clouds. My bad. We're not talking food right now, but hey, believe it or not, sometimes at Costco, they got the whole package brisket, and the price is literally cheaper than their regular prime cut that they have. I don't know if you're into, scouring the earth that way, but, and not the Japanese Wagyu, it's American Wagyu. If you're one of those guys that I got a couple people that I know that are picky, and they call me a sellout for it, but it's okay. And yes, I got a Traeger smoker, by the way. I don't know if anybody out there has something different. All right, back to weather. You're making me hungry, Pedro. All right, Friday. Yes, Costco Wild 4 Day. Hey. Listen, great minds think alike. That would be you and Anna. Oh, hey, yes, I like Traeger 36. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. Friday, we're not seeing too much right now in the morning. Friday afternoon is when we're going to start seeing probably some rain approach. Again, it's going to be cloudy the whole week because a storm is not. We got more smokers in the house. Yes, I'll be smoking something. You got, but not brisket. Oh, I thought he said he was doing a brisket too. All right, fine. The challenge is on. Now you guys are making me think, man, I don't know. I might do, I don't think it's brisket weekend. I'm thinking either pork butt or ribs. Ribs is good. Especially, if you know how to do it right. All right. Focus. All right, so Friday, we're starting to see a little bit of wind, rain, and everything. Come Saturday. Yes. What's that? Mac? Like as in mac and cheese? There we go. Let's look out, right? So here's our storm still. Remember what I said, you got your steering currents, which you can clearly see right here. which is why that storm is not coming anywhere near us. It's going to shift around. That's high pressure. And remember, tropical developments are low pressure. So we got all that stuff. All that stuff going on. We got we're going to have a hurricane off our coast. Great times to be out smoking stuff. Pedro, I will be sure and let my wife know that you sowed the seed for me to be on the smoker for about 10 plus hours this weekend. Anyway, right? Well, so come Saturday, we're not seeing too much rain from this moisture, really any downpours or anything. Yeah, come Saturday, Sunday, it doesn't really look like it. It looks like it's all hanging out here, but as you can see, it's coming. So sometime during the next week or so, Wendy is being really a pain in the butt and not letting me show these color graphics, so I can't really go into next week too much, which will change once we go one day forward and we start getting the real episodes back up and rolling. Oh, I'll post a pic. Yes, please do. We'll have a Monday brag board for people who smoked meats this weekend during our storm. And then we'll also have the fishing one. So if you're cooking, be sure you're taking pictures. All right. Yes, so that's what we're looking at. We got this storm. Crappy conditions all weekend, so I don't know if I'd even risk it. All right, let's head over to WindFinder and see what they say. This is the numbers version of what we just went over, and they're probably going to jive. All right, so tomorrow, east winds. This is for Pedro. East winds, not even 10 knots in the morning. Sun, very sunny day. Like I said, 2 to 3 foot at 10-second period. So you got a swell coming in still, which is what you saw today. So very nice conditions tomorrow. Please get out there and get your fill because you're going to be on pause for a couple days after that. Thursday, Friday, we see our winds starting to move up into the double digits with the gusts starting to not really show, but we'll see what happens as the storm approaches. The gusts will start coming in. And we see our waves still coming at us, elevating up to +5, and the swell diminishing, right? So we've got swell somewhat Thursday, right? Even not too bad. Thursday also, sunny day, just a little bit more windy, a little bit higher rate, and our swell diminishing as night falls. And after that, as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can see our wind speeds pick up. The gusts we start seeing up to almost 30 miles an hour as during the night, and we see a little bit of rain during the night, not during the day, but cloudy. It's going to be cloudy all day, so go figure with that one. And 7-second period, but 8-second period is really really not. It's I don't know if I'd say this is going to be a swell because of the wind speed. It's going to form a lot of chop out there, and we're looking at 7-8+ foot seas coming on to Monday too. It's not really going to dissipate, so we'll have to follow our forecast and keep in touch. And and I've been fairly good about taking pictures and posting them on the Facebook group and keeping everybody in the know and seeing what they think about it. Sometimes I post a picture and somebody says, "Hey, you're crazy. It's flat out here," and that I love being corrected. It lets me know that everybody's looking out for me and the madness that we get going on here. All right, so that's what we're looking at for our weather, folks. Right, so let's check out our moon. Right, it's Wahoo season. Here we are. Let me open up the page. And we'll go look at our moon. So we've got Wahoo. We got people catching Wahoo on the no moon. So right now we got new moon today. Very good, October 21st. So let's look at tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, the 20th, if I can get the website to work. 22nd. We're starting to wax. So when you talk about a moon phase, right, waxing means we're heading towards the full moon, the bright side. Waning means we're heading towards the dark side. So right now we are starting to wax. Wednesday 1%, Thursday 4%, Friday 9%, Saturday 15%, Sunday 22%. So and the rest of the week, it doesn't matter. So coming next weekend, if the weather lays down, that would be another that'll be another time to start doing your October wahoo fishing by the moon. And remember, right now we've got king tides. The moon is hot, is closer. And also, I don't know if anybody has read this. NASA has reported that Earth now has a second moon. I have to do some research and figure out more about this, but we've got a second moon that's going to be with us for the next almost 60 years until 2083. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's a giant asteroid that is just in our gravitational pull and is going to be, traveling around the Earth with our moon. Is that going to affect our tides? Are we going to have a double high tide, double high king tide like we had over in Boynton Beach where you saw the shark swimming through the parking lot? I'm not sure how any of this is going to affect us. A little bit of research and I'll be able to come with some answers for that. But yes, we do have a second moon that is was it made in China? Possibly, I don't know. Anyway, yes, so that's what we got to go on. Moon phase, right? Not this week. This week is better for your pelagic fishing, right? Pedro, get out there. Your dolphin and everything should be biting because they were not eating all night. As we go further towards next week and the moon starts illuminating, you might notice that pelagic bite slow down just a little bit because of our moon phase. And you've got a bright light shining on all of your fish at night, the little bait fish, so the pelagics can eat. Anyway, that's what we got going on with our moon. Looking forward towards the October wahoo moon. Good to go. And hopefully by next week, I can have some sort of answer about this second moon. I'm really not quite sure, and I don't want to get into it very deeply right now. All right, let's look at our tides and go over that, and then we can get ready and call it quits for today. Having some fun, making jokes, talking about food. Let's talk about tides. Wednesday, tomorrow, we have an outgoing tide at the morning and in the evening, right? So these are not favorable conditions to be fishing those jetties. And if you're out on a boat, you're not going to be wanting to try and fish, jig, chum, troll, any of that stuff in front of the jetty. You have the wrong cycle of tide going on. To fish those jetties and fish that water flow, you need an outgoing tide. You need the tide to be falling. It pushes out all of the sediment, microorganisms, junk, chlorophyll, which is the most important thing. And we're going to have an episode on why fishermen need to start following the chlorophyll. I will explain this to you. Once you understand how to follow chlorophyll, you will fish like those charter boat captains that you see getting all the time, because it's a specific map that you can purchase that shows you chlorophyll buildup. Anyway, trust me when I say you're thinking, chlorophyll plants, this and that. It's in the ocean too, and that's where the fish feed. All right, back to it, right? So we got incoming tides. Now, not only do you need to follow the outgoing tide, it also needs to be at the right time of day if you're going to try and fish it and have it be productive, which is, in the morning time when fish are eating and at supper time when fish are eating. If you got a outgoing tide in the middle of the day when the sun's bright up and there's no shadows and the fish disperse over the reef to hide, that's kind of futile, right? So we've got a useless tide this week. Next week, hopefully the weather clears up and the tide cycle tends to shift weekly. So next week, you see how we've got the outgoing tide in the middle. Starting next week, more than likely, the outgoing tide will be more favorable and at the right time of day, if not a little bit off. But then again, remember, those who fish by the tides swear by the tides. There's also folks that I know who do super well, totally ignoring it, and they come away with the, trophy fish at slack tide. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, let's keep on keeping on, folks. So, what we're going to do here before we head out, if you are in the market for some fishing apparel, right? One of them UPF 50 shirts you don't need sunscreen for or anything like that, be sure, check out our sponsor from WindRider. Here it is right here. Check that out. We got the South Florida Saltwater Fishing shirts. It's got the brand, the logo on it. I know several people that have these, and I love getting pictures with them on it. It's a quality shirt. This is not a fly-by-night company. Granted, it doesn't say hook or pelagic or salt life or any of that goodness on there. I'm sorry. You know, doesn't say deer meat for dinner or, you know, whatever. I don't tell them I said that. You know, it's the South Florida Saltwater Fishing brand. Here we are. WindRider plucked us out of nowhere, and they're a great company. You know, hey, if you're in the market for one of these shirts, you don't need sunscreen. They dry real quick. They keep you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and they're stain resistant. If you're in the market for one of the shirts, take a look at it, if anything. And you can always say, nah, forget he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I want one of the other ones. I'll pay a few more dollars and get it. If not, hey, come here, support the brand, get out there on the water, and have someone go, hey, that's from that YouTube channel guy that thinks he knows everything, right? Yeah, him. Yeah, tell him to shut up when you see him. Hey, my bad. All right, folks. And before we head out, one last thing. If you're on Facebook, I ask you to join the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. It is right here. It looks like this, minus the date. That's what the title page of it looks like, if you can see here, minus the blue strip, because I'm the administrator and they cover up my stuff. Every Monday we put on the brag board post, and you can post your comment on there, picture of what you caught, or, you know, a funny saying that you didn't catch anything, whatever it might be. You want to post a little bit of info about what you caught, hey, even better. And next week we're going to have the double up. We're having pictures of what you cooked when the weather was crap. So smoking, not smoking, deep frying, whatever you got, the challenge is on. Everybody, I want to see pictures. I want to see raw food, cooked food, not regurgitated. We can keep those off. Anyway, all right, yes, join South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report, right, folks? It's a private group. There are no bots in here. You got to answer a couple of questions to get on this group. What's your favorite fish, and do abide by the rules. The rules are simple. No screwing around. I don't put up with any of it. I love my YouTube channel, guys. You can't post your video here. I talk about everyone. I love my charter captain guys. You know, it's not soliciting when they show their fish. They're just putting out proof, right? The YouTube guys too. Jason Reef, man, he sends a picture of what he caught. So, you know, we're good like that. Anyway, I don't even post my own YouTube videos on this stuff. I use my own personal page and all that goodness. Anyway, folks, South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. This Facebook page directly drives this channel every week. Whatever information we get from that comes on here, and that's what makes it so that we can have the live stream. And if you make a post during the week at any time, you always stand a chance of being a poster child and becoming the thumbnail for the live stream YouTube show on Tuesday nights at 6. All right, folks, that about does it for this episode. We're gonna call it quits, and you know, we'll see you next Tuesday. Hopefully you don't get blown off the peninsula this weekend. Have fun, Pedro. Good luck tomorrow, Sean. Hope you caught that wahoo. Till next Tuesday, South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report, going wherever the cool wind takes us. And yes, it's a song.